Law enforcement officers, the symbols of authority in our society, are responsible for maintaining peace and protecting the rights of citizens. But what happens when individuals entrusted with upholding the law find themselves on the wrong side of it?
I can't believe what you're telling me.
Detective Michel Nilet was found in a hotel room under highly suspicious circumstances.
Be right back. Just give us 1 second. You don't need any water or anything?
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Mike and his superior, John Miller, had checked into a hotel for a conference in Pensacola and decided to head out in search of a few drinks. However, following a night of heavy drinking, Mike woke up to an unexpected situation.
How you doing, Mike?
Hello.
I'm Investigator Martinez. I think you've already met Investigator Tatum.
When the police arrived at the scene, Mike had been sitting on top of his chief's dead body, a sight that incriminated him instantly. He found himself in police custody and was escorted into the exact room where he had spent a decade interrogating suspects. This time, though, the cop had become the suspect.
So tell me, Mike, you guys flew out of Tulsa?
Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma City, okay. Into Pensacola?
Yep.
Was it a direct flight?
Nope.
Where'd you guys stop?
Houston.
Mm-hmm. Was it a long layover or just a...
Short. Pretty short.
So from Houston to Pensacola?
Yep.
All right, and then from there?
Got to the hotel. That's it.
Mike's curt, one-word answers could mean that he has his guard up, but his body language seems relatively relaxed. Or his hangover might be another reason for this.
Problems or anything going on like crowd? Just normal dinner or what?
It's normal.
Any drinks there or just got it?
A couple beers.
Was it a early dinner or late dinner or what?
Pretty early. It was, I don't even think it was dark yet.
Tell me what you guys did once you got back to the hotel.
That's about it. Just watched a football game.
Particular team?
That was a Dallas game. Starting.
Despite Mike's claims that he only had a few beers, the results of their blood alcohol tests tell a different story. Neely's blood alcohol level registered at 0.294, whereas at the time of his death, Miller's blood alcohol level had spiked to 0.334. It's important to note that the risk of alcohol poisoning and loss of consciousness typically lies within the range of 0.30% to 0.40%. Levels surpassing this threshold are considered potentially fatal.
Do you remember hotel staff or hotel employee coming up and telling you guys to keep it down?
I don't remember that.
So what is the last thing you remember as far as that evening until the football game?
Well, I mean, I know you're asking me questions, but can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
Okay, homicide. Who is dead?
Lucky's dead.
Lucky is dead.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I guess I probably don't have anything else to say then. I've got nothing to say to you.
This explains Mike's state of bewilderment as he gradually pieces together the information. Being a seasoned detective himself, Mike wisely chooses to exercise his right to remain silent. But the interrogating detectives have a number of tricks that unexpectedly turn out to be effective. They begin by intimidating him with potential consequences.
Michael, you've been charged with second-degree murder.
Okay. I had no idea what I was being charged with.
Yeah, you're being charged with second-degree murder, and you're fixing to be booked in the Escambia County Jail with no bond. And we've already notified your wife,
Okay.
Lucky's wife, and
The victim,
Yes.
I'm assuming.
yes.
Okay.
And you have any questions for us?
I mean, I've got 1,000 of them, but I mean, it really doesn't make it.
Well, I mean, sure it does. I mean, if you want to talk, we'll sit here and listen to you talk. I mean, we'd love to know what the heck happened.
Followed by displaying support and offering to address his queries in return for more information.
But I mean, that's up to you. I mean, we'll answer your questions, in return. So
I would love to know what happened to,
However, their true goal is to exploit his state of confusion, and surprisingly, Mike decides to continue talking and even switches teams to unravel the mystery of his own alleged crime.
well, I mean, do you want to continue to talk to us? If you do, then I mean, we'll tell you what happened.
I mean, I would love, I would like to know what happened, because I'm telling you, I don't have any memory of any of this shit, and I'm shocked.
Do you want to continue talking to us?
Yeah, I mean, I'll continue to talk. I'd like to know what happened. I mean, if you'll tell me what happened, that'd be great,
At the end, Neely doesn't show an iota of recognition or even regret for his deeds or the life sentence. However, in the next case, the line between justice and abuse of power becomes shockingly clear. Stephanie Lazarus was an excellent detective who had received recommendations for her performance until an investigation uncovered her dark past. When she was approached by the detectives asking for her help on a case, Stephanie would never have expected the conversation to take a turn into the 80s.
I don't want to talk about this in the squadron because I don't know who people are listening.
That's true.
And if we go to my side, everybody's always wondering what everybody else is doing.
No problem.
Okay?
She was brought into the interrogation room under the guise of discussing confidential information. And then, a 23-year-old investigation was reopened. In 1986, Sherry Rasmussen's body was found at her home, riddled with bullet holes. Her death was considered to be the casualty in a burglary, but the suspect had never been identified.
Do you know John Rutten?
John Rutten?
Rutten.
Oh yeah, I went to school with him.
You did?
Yeah.
How long did you know him?
Gosh, I went to school in, let's see, went to UCLA in 1978 I started, and, met him at school at the dorms.
It wasn't until 2009 that the case files were revisited, and officers discovered DNA evidence that framed Stephanie as the possible killer in this case, proving that someone who was well versed in the art of uncovering clues and arresting culprits is also capable of hiding her own incriminating tracks.
Were you guys friends, close friends?
Yeah, we're very close friends.
Yeah?
I mean, what's this all about?
It's a case we're working on and it involves John, and in there's notes and stuff that he knew you and stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean, we were good friends, lived in the dorms for 2 years.
Was there ever any relationship or anything that developed between you guys?
Yeah, I mean, we dated, I mean, what's this all about?
Well, it's relating to his wife.
The cops ask a few questions about Sherry's husband, John, who was also Stephanie's ex-boyfriend. But when they reveal their true intentions, the facade of a calm, trained detective quickly drops away.
And you're right.
I mean, if you guys are claiming that I'm a suspect, then, I got a problem with, with that.
Okay.
Okay? So, if you're doing this as an interrogation, you're saying, hey, I'm a suspect. Well, now I got a problem with, now you're accusing me of this? Is that what you're saying?
Obviously, you know about all the DNA stuff and things of the nature that, gets done on cases nowadays. If we asked you for a DNA swab, would you be willing to give us one?
Maybe. Because now I'm thinking I probably need to talk to a lawyer.
Stephanie's body language gives away her nervousness. Her breathing is labored, and her movements become more and more erratic as she tries to object to the questioning. She tries to weasel her way out by agreeing to give DNA samples and mentioning the possibility of hiring a lawyer. But unluckily for Stephanie, she couldn't dissuade the cops from interrogating her despite her protests, and she was arrested after only 5 minutes of questioning, after a lengthy and difficult trial that lasted for months.
We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Stephanie Eileen Lazarus, guilty of the crime of murder of Sherry Rasmussen. We further find the murder was of the first degree.
The jury reached a verdict. Stephanie was charged for the first-degree murder of Sherry Rasmussen and imprisoned for 27 years.